What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to a mini episode of Unspoken Truth Podcast. I'm your host, Denise. What's up, man? What you doing? What you got going on? If you on your lunch break and you chose to join me today, if this is your first time, welcome. Um, yeah, it's cold outside. It's starting to snow again. I don't know how nobody feel about that, but hey, it's wintertime where I'm at, so it don't matter, okay? Today's topic is misery. Ooh, Lord, this is probably gone, ruffle a few feathers, but I never cared, So, misery. When I do topics on specific episodes on specific topics, I like to give a definition first, right? So, like, misery, what does that mean? It is a state or a feeling of great distress and discomfort, your mind and your body. Okay? We talking about misery. We hear a lot of people talk about the word, but what does that look like? What does it consist of? Oh boy, it is a lot of different reasons for somebody to find themselves in misery. Okay? Um, how y'all doing? Welcome, welcome. Pam, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Misery. I chose this topic because I'm like, how many times have I found myself in a state of misery? Probably more times than I could count or want to acknowledge, okay? Um, what do I mean by that? I've been in positions, situations, and circumstances in my life that has been sent my way or created by me to take me up out of here. Mentally, physically, emotionally, just it was supposed to break me. Do you get what I'm saying? It was supposed to stop me from keep going. Okay? A lot of times situations show up that be the aftermath of something. Either something that's been done intentionally inflicted upon yourself or done at the hands of somebody else, okay? Um, boy oh boy, when you're in a miserable state, some of the first things that come to mind is isolation. Because I'm one of them people, when I'm going through stuff mentally and emotionally, I disconnect. I detach. I don't want what I'm feeling or going through to be projected or poured on to somebody. Now, is that something that I've always portrayed? No, absolutely not. But over time, when you're intentional about the things that you do in this life, then you start to pay more attention to different stuff. Okay, um, whew. Having, for example, and this is no shot at nobody, but this is just my truth. Having a child by somebody that's incarcerated at a young age left me in a state of misery. Okay, not just because of his circumstance. It, that became a part of my life too. I'm a person who believe when people go to prison, a part of their family go with them. Okay, especially if it's been a significant amount of time. Now, me, for those who don't know me or know my story, if you get a chance, go on my YouTube and watch the episode with me and my daughter's father. Okay, this year makes 25. Well, this month, I'm sorry. This month makes 25 years of incarceration. Okay. So when I tell you that I have been through some things that has left me in a state of misery, I'm serious. When you young, you have a child by somebody and they go to prison. In your mind, you're thinking is at some point I'm gonna get some type of end date, an opportunity to reconnect, an opportunity for him to be a father in the physical. it is a lot of different things that left me in a state of misery. So much so that at one point I didn't tell my daughter nothing about him. Okay? Not because I was ashamed, not because I was embarrassed. I didn't want my child to have to feel like she couldn't live up to her full potential because of the choices of one of her parents. Okay? It caused me to do some things that other people probably wouldn't have done, but for me, my main goal as a mother is to try to protect my child at all costs. Okay? From the world. I think a lot of parents can relate to that. You be trying to figure it out. How do I keep my child from having to deal with some things that they shouldn't because of some choices and decisions that I made as the parent? Okay? Love him. There's no love lost because of that. I'd actually have a lot more love and respect for him because I know he didn't get a chance. He didn't get an opportunity. It was taken from him. Do I believe if you engage or entertain in certain illegal activities, is there supposed to be some kind of consequence behind it? Yeah. But I don't think it should be the rest of your life. This is just me. Okay? So that left me in a state of misery. For a long time, I tried to avoid him, that situation, all of it. I just didn't want to deal. It was too much pressure. I'm not sure if anybody has ever been involved with somebody that's involved in a public case or trial or anything like that. I was, okay? I was involved in, it was a very high profile thing, okay? So at one point, it's a lot of news reporters, it's a lot of people calling, trying to ask what kind of information they can get from me. It was a lot. It was a lot. John Porter, Kayla, Buddy, welcome. It was a lot, okay? I'm not saying that it wasn't a part of the process because our relationship is not the same way it was. It's totally different now. But just the state of hanging in limbo and not really knowing what the future is going to hold with you and this person left me in a state of misery. Okay? Where I just could not focus. I couldn't get myself together. I thought perhaps if I created a new life, started over fresh, if I tried to do something different, that would kind of take some of the pressure off. I'm here to tell you, no, that wasn't the case, okay? That wasn't how the pressure was going to be relieved, if that makes any sense. I was going to have to deal, okay? That day came real quick. I wasn't ready. Although it had been years since I had thought about it, tried to deal with it, wanted to deal with it. It had been years. But the day came. Well, I ain't had no choice but to deal. That left me feeling hopeless, frustrated, angry, disappointed. I mean, I can go on and on with how I felt before I had to have this conversation with my child. I wasn't in the proper mental and emotional state myself. So it was really hard for me to try to show up in a way that I should have. If I could do anything different, I would have, as far as my approach or how I chose to share or whatever. But I don't regret what I decided to delay. Okay? Because I don't look at it as a lie if you never told nothing. It was a delay. I was trying to figure out when was the right time. What was I going to say? How was I going to say it? How was she going to receive what I was saying? Was she going to be frustrated and angry with me? I just had too many question marks. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Today's episode is on misery. That's what we're talking about. I'm sharing a little bit about my truth. Yeah. having a child young to begin with was a lot of pressure by itself, but also feeling abandoned by the other parent due to a decision or choice that he made. My daughter went without her father. Okay. Since then, their relationship is wonderful. To my knowledge, okay? But just that whole situation left me in a miserable state where I was lashing out, I was angry, I was projecting a lot of my thoughts and feelings onto other people. I was pushing people away that was trying to love on me and understood me. I just was in a very fragile state. I believe that there is certain things that can happen in your life that cause you to end up in a state of misery. Now, am I saying that this is abnormal? No. But I am saying that it happens. And when those occasions arise and those things come up and you find yourself in a state of misery, I want you to consider that this is a time for pause. Okay? I know it sounds crazy, but just hear me out. When you in a state of misery, it's time for you to pause on everything else that's going on, everything that's being said, what everybody else got. It's pause. Because guess what? You the only person who's being affected by whatever state that you in. And it's not nobody else's responsibility to fix you. Yeah, it could be pointed out to you what a person see about your state of being, for sure. But it's not their responsibility to grab you by the hand and fix you. That's not nobody's job. That's an internal issue. That's an internal job for you to work on for yourself. When you find yourself in a state of misery, you need to pause on everybody and isolate and withdraw yourself. Why? Because you need to figure out what's going on. How did you get here? How you gonna get from here? What you gonna do? What needs to be done? What's required? And I'm sorry, I just don't feel like nobody can zoom in, focus in on none of those things when you got all of this noise going on. When you got all of this stuff going on, how is you supposed to focus? Because sometimes when stuff happens to you, it is solely for you. I'm not saying there's nobody alive that understand or have been through the same. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is you need to figure out what's going on for you, within you. It has nothing to do with nobody else. And a lot of times we believe in our mind that whatever we going through or whatever state we in is for everybody. Ready? Yeah, it's not. Your trials, your tribulations, your journey, the stuff you struggling with, the stuff you going through, that's for you to sit down and figure out. That's for you. That ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. I'm so sorry, y'all. Like, I'm going to be moving while I'm recording, just so y'all know. I got to take my son to work. But, yeah. So, disregard this right here. I'm really sorry. I promise to post the whole episode after I'm done, okay? I love y'all. I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I gotta move and record. Okay, so what I was saying is when you find yourself in a state of misery, your job is to figure out what that's rooted in. What's going on with you? How can you solve or resolve what's going on with you? That's your responsibility. It's not your friend's responsibility. It ain't your parents. It ain't your kids. No, it's your responsibility. You. And you alone. Okay? Don't nobody else gotta figure it out, hear you out, understand. No, it's not their journey. It's not their circumstance. That's yours. You gotta carry that. Okay, Let me grab my coat. Patricia, how you doing? Too many things. How you doing? Welcome, y'all. Stars. Welcome. Make sure y'all follow me on YouTube, Instagram, of course, TikTok, Facebook. I'm on all the platforms, okay? Today we talking about misery. What does that look like and how do you get yourself out of it? When you going through something of that magnitude, and it could be a multitude of reasons why, we not really too focused on that, but we are focused on the fact that it exists. Whether it's just in your mind or if it's in other people's mind as well, because they see it, you know. You need to do something about that. You can't walk around this world and in this life projecting your issues, your problems, your feelings, your thoughts onto other people. It just simply don't work like that, and it's not fair. It's hard for somebody to show up for you when you operating like that. Okay? You're going to have to figure some stuff out. It's nothing like going through something that's traumatic, that it feel like don't nobody else understand, and then realizing that that's the way it's supposed to be for that moment. Not for the duration of the journey, but for that moment. It's for you to have understanding. It's not for the rest of the world to have no understanding. Because whatever is going on with you that got you in this state of misery is probably something that only you can understand within yourself anyway. So there is no point in you looking outside of yourself for nothing that's going to help you when you in that kind of state. You're going to have to go within. I'm going to suggest you meditate. I'm going to suggest you learn how to do breath work. I'm going to suggest that you sit with yourself. I'm going to suggest that maybe you do some tapping. All of these things are stuff that you can go find videos or look it up on YouTube or Google or Chat GPT and all these different resources we got now. It's too much information out here for somebody to feel stuck in a place that they don't want to be. The saying is misery loves company. And I agree with that to a certain extent. And I say that very loosely because like I said, when I'm going through stuff, I don't want to be around people. And there's no disrespect to them if they trying to help me or whatever. I just know that that time should be spent with me figuring out what's going on with me. Because can't nobody help me if I haven't even figured out what's wrong. I got to figure out what's wrong first before I could even seek any type of help. So I isolate myself when I'm in a feeling or a stage of misery. Because people like to walk around and transfer their misery to other people. Mr. Legend, welcome, happy Tuesday. That is a major problem in the world with people just spewing whatever negative, toxic, dysfunctional energy that they carrying at the time on whoever will allow it to be transferred. I'm here to tell you, you better learn how to protect your energy and your peace from people. Because some people don't even realize that they miserable. Because they don't want to. That feeling has become so normal for them that it's just another day for them. It's just like the saying with them saying that's just the way I am. It's the same thing. The more you keep telling yourself foolishness, the more you start to believe it. The more you start to live in that. The more you start to operate in that. This is why it's important for you to go within when you're going through stuff. Because can't nobody tell you about your feelings more than you can tell them about your feelings. Did you start the car? Here, get the key. But, you know, this is we living in a world where everybody want to blame somebody for what's going on with them, how they feeling, how people responding to what they going through. Hey, man, I hate to tell you, be the bearer of bad news, but you came in this world by yourself. Yeah, you had parents that was supposed to raise you, and I'm sure they did that, but you in this world by yourself.
Hey, wait to send me that. Don't send me that.
All right, by yourself. It's gonna be the same way you exit. I know that's a hard pill to swallow for some people, but meaning learn how to detach from people, places, and things that no longer serve the version of your life that you in, the season of your life that you're in. Some people got to go because they can't go with you. And I know that hurts a lot of people's feelings. I mean, I was a people pleaser for a long time. I cared too much. I went above and beyond. It was ridiculous. But if I'm here to tell you, if you don't learn how to, one, possess and practice discernment, but also learn and possess and practice detachment, you're going to struggle in life. With misery, with your emotions, with life, with your response. You gonna struggle in life. Whether your misery was inflicted on you by somebody else or if you self-inflicting it yourself, that is your responsibility for you to deal with. It is not my responsibility. It ain't your parents' responsibility. It ain't your family's responsibility. It's your responsibility to figure out what's going on with you while you in such a misery state. Life can be beautiful if you let it. Are you in such a misery state? Life can be beautiful if you let it. Welcome. It's all up to you. If you want a life full of happiness and joy and peace, you can have that if you let it. But if you bent on just being miserable and negative and toxic and dysfunctional, that is the state of your life. That's going to be the reality of your life. See, we too busy trying to blame other people for how the day turned out, how the month turned out, how the year turned out, how our lives turned out. And in the end, it be all about what we be done said or spoke over ourselves. And then when it started coming to fruition and it started manifesting itself to reality, we upset. Be mindful of what come out of your mouth about you. The hell with what somebody else say about you. What are you saying about yourself? What are you feeding yourself? Because that matters. It's absolutely going to show up in places that you don't want it to. If you're not being intentional about being positive, having peace, finding joy and happiness in this life. Is this life hard and unfair sometimes? Yeah, absolutely. But every day that you wake up, you given another chance to figure it out or get it right or mess it up some more or whatever you're going to do with it. But it's on you. I'm a very down-to-earth, transparent, open-minded person. I've been through a lot, so I understand on a scale that most people wouldn't believe. But I'm telling you, if you find yourself in a miserable state today, I'm going to need you to fall back from everything and everybody until you can get your energy in order. Until you can prioritize you, because apparently whatever is going on, it is directly affecting you and your everyday life, and that's a problem. Anything that's getting in the way of you doing what's necessary and required is a problem. Because every day all of us get something we supposed to be working on or working at or working towards. If you spending all your time in a miserable state, it's impossible for that to happen.
Bye-bye.
It's impossible. And it's not going to. Learn how to give yourself what you expecting from everybody else. No matter what is going on. Love on yourself. Hug on yourself. Speak life over yourself. Acknowledge the things that need to be worked on. Do something about them. Stop complaining. Quit talking about what's wrong and not having a solution for it. You're going to find yourself stuck in a miserable state longer than you're supposed to be because you don't even want to utilize the tools and utensils that's given to you to help you. And that boils down in several categories: people, places, and things. But that's on you. I just thought I'd drop a couple nuggets today, help somebody else, but then help myself. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Just keep tuning in. Y'all can catch me this Friday at 8 p.m. for another episode of Unspoken Truth Podcast. Until then, if you was on your lunch break, get your butt back to work. We done talking for now. But meet me back here on Friday, okay? For a new episode. Hopefully my co-host be here. If not, the show must go on. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming through, hanging out with me. Just joining the conversation. It's definitely much more to discuss, okay? So y'all be careful out there. It's starting to snow again. It's cold. Be careful. Love on yourself, but more importantly, show up for somebody else. Your words, just you showing up for somebody could change the trajectory of somebody's day and their life. I love y'all. I'll see y'all Friday.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.